Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com at over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, 24/7 for your family, friends, and loved ones, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags. Makes great gifts year-round, 24/7 for your family, friends, and loved ones. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and also phone cases and more for family and friends. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Make sure you check it out today. And also, don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, also on PayPal and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a half CEO. He's a co-CEO and founder of the original Grain Watches, and we'll talk about that. And I'm sure he's wearing one right now. And try and keep track of time here. Yeah, that's a beautiful one. And these timepieces are made from reclaimed wood from Kentucky whiskey bourbon barrels. Also, Yankee Stadium seats, and inspired by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest. We'll talk about those. And each watch they sell just plants a tree for sustainability and just a lot more. These timepieces are great. We'll talk about those. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studio somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. And he's always keeping track of time. Ladies and gentlemen, the co-CEO and founder of the original Grain Watches, Ryan Beltran. Ryan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too. First of all, show us off your watch, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of this one's made with Hawaiian koa wood, which we source directly from the islands. It's one of my favorites. So.
Wow. Okay. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute. And not only that, you had timepieces from reclaimed wood from Kentucky bourbon barrels, Yankee Stadium, and among other places. And of course, from Hawaii, you talked about, also from the beauty of the Pacific Northwest inspired. And each watch you guys sell just plants a tree for sustainability. And it's a great idea. We'll talk about that. And before getting about talking more about the watches and more, Ryan, tell us how you first got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been around going on 10 years, believe it or not. We launched in 2013 with a crowdfunding campaign, which, these were the early days of Kickstarter. I'm not sure if you know the platform, but
yes, I'm familiar.
Okay, yeah. So we were one of those early brands that had this idea where I was like, always into fashion and accessories, if you will. But for men, there's only a handful of things that we accessorize with, right?
Right.
Whether that be sneakers, watches, maybe a necklace. But for the most part, there are only a handful of things. And so I was always like, watches are such a statement piece and they're very polarizing. You've got very expensive timepieces, you've got very inexpensive timepieces. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to mix it up. There was nothing on the market using really any wooden watches, let alone reclaimed wood with a story. And I had this idea, I partnered up with my brother, and I guess the rest is history at this point. But
and why the wood? And also when it comes to watches as well, too.
Oh yeah. So the wood, like you said, we grew up in Pacific Northwest in Oregon. So we always spent a lot of time outdoors. We always had kind of hung our hat on more of like that handcrafted quality product. There's a lot of really cool brands out of like Portland and Seattle, and so that was a huge inspiration for us on the wood side. Our watches, they use wood, but as you can see, it's a combination of both stainless steel and either natural exotic hardwoods or reclaimed, Kentucky bourbon barrels or Yankee Stadium seats. And that's meant to be more of an accent piece in the design. It's not there as like a structural element, if you will. It's there to sort of pay homage or, has this nostalgic value. To whoever's wearing that product. Maybe you've been to Hawaii and you really want a piece of that. You can tell, or you're a diehard Yankee fan. And that idea came to us a couple years after starting the brand. When we launched, we didn't necessarily think, oh, we're going to do a collaboration with the New York. Those things kind of happened as we grew.
Now, did you buy the seats from Yankee Stadium like an auction? Were they given to you, or did you work out some kind of deal with the Yankee Stadium just to get a hold of these actual seats?
Yeah, so we actually bought them through a few different sources. Some were directly through people at the stadium. Some of them were purchased via eBay. I think even one of the seats we purchased was through Craigslist. Some collector had these seats. They're relatively rare. They're pretty expensive, especially the authentic ones from the original Yankee Stadium. We're talking, 90 to 100-year-old seats. It was built in 1923. I'm sure you know that, Mike. But
Right, yeah, and I was just thinking maybe like the first generation, like Yankee Stadium was just totally open. You didn't have these big scoreboards run by George or anything, and the second one just kind of had those accents of George, and the third one, of course, you got your modern state of the art, just like with any other ballpark, almost like a suit that could have
correct.
been yards.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And so, yeah, we were able to source them from all over. The cool thing is, at least the way we look at it is now we can share that with more than just one person. And we've gotten every time we've released a Yankee watch, we did one with the Red Sox with old Fenway seats. They've sold out, within, 2 weeks. So,
Wow.
they definitely, I think, hold a special place in a lot of people's hearts, and are just a really cool timepiece.
And also, how about some other sports teams that you have as well, too, besides Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park, and everything? What about some of the other stadiums that have those wooden seats on your watches? It hasn't been
Yeah,
baseball; it can be other sports. Football, basketball,
I,
hockey, even
you
soccer, or
know
any sport.
you're right, and it's something we have yet to do beyond um the two that I mentioned, and then we did do something with Wrigley Field, Chicago Cubs. But it's been, sports obviously is a huge thing here in the U.S. and well, across the world. But those four major sports are something that we've had some success with. And I mean, our number one seller, though, I will say, has been the whiskey barrel line, made with Kentucky bourbon barrels. And we've been out there and done the bourbon trail and met with people who have, I mean, all bourbon barrels are bourbon has to be from Kentucky, and I was educated on that. And yeah, so that's been our top seller since we started.
That's really interesting. We'll talk more about the Kentucky bourbon barrels and also your amazing original grain watches in just 1 minute. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great merchandise, books, and a lot of cool goodies and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Also support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, along with PayPal and themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with the co-CEO and founder of Original Grain Watches, Ryan Beltran, here on The Mike Wagner Show. And you talked about going on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and that's where the Original Grain Watch first began. And tell us more about the Kentucky Bourbon Trail and what got you inspired.
Yeah, I mean, so that was the first. I'll never forget how we were introduced to the idea. I mean, we had always, when we launched, we wanted to use reclaimed wood. We wanted it to be sustainable. We wanted to have a give back component, which we do with our trees. We planted over 500,000 trees so far, which is amazing.
Wow.
Thing for accomplishment. Yeah, we're proud to say we have done. And but we were at a trade show, and we were selling our watches, and getting in a few stores. This was about a year into it. It's a rep from one of the big bourbon labels came by, and he goes, you guys ever thought about doing a watch with reclaimed bourbon barrels? And I'm like, we have not. So we flew out there, we met with them, and it just felt like a no-brainer, because a lot of the barrels, once they're used, they can't be used again.
Good point.
And so what do is they either sell them to, people in France to do cognac or whatever, maybe Scotch, whiskey, whatever. But bourbon can only be aged once. And so we felt like, if we could use those barrels and turn them into watches, now other people can enjoy that. And it's just a very sustainable way for us to use that wood.
Wow, that's amazing. And what else besides bourbon? Do you guys do, like, say, whiskey or wine or any other barrels like that involving liquor? Can you also use those?
Yeah, we can. We just launched this year a watch with reclaimed tequila barrels.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah,
Does
we're
it
not
come
trying
with
to
a
get
worm and a
everyone.
lime or something?
So it's been good. Went down there to Guadalajara and Jalisco, where that's made, and so we try and keep it as authentic as possible. We did a collaboration recently with a well-known guitar company called Taylor Guitars.
Oh,
For all those guitar players out there, they're actually based in San Diego, California. Really, really cool guitar company. And yeah, just finding unique ways to reclaim materials that are unique, that are semi-rare, and ultimately, hold a special place in someone's heart. We really want someone to wear our watches and feel a connection to them. Not just another. One of our taglines is it's more than a timepiece. It's a piece of time. We want people to feel that.
I like that. I like that tagline you did too. You're talking about Taylor guitars, and what particular musicians have used the Taylor guitars and have them on your watches?
Well, we've used just the guitars that are the offshoots of the wood that while they're manufacturing them. So they're not the actual, they don't use a brand new guitar, but it's sustainably sourced. Again, we're not trying to, and then Jason Mraz, Zach Brown Band, these guys all play Taylor guitar. We have yet to do a collaboration directly with any of the artists, but it's something that we're working on for this year.
I'm
Or for next year, I should say.
I'm certainly looking forward to it. Now I'm already making my Christmas list for next year on what watch to get and who's associates. I'm drawing up my list right now, and in here as we speak too. This is really good. So, and besides the reclaimed wood from guitars, bourbon barrels, whiskey barrels, tequila barrels, and even like stadium seats and everything, what other sources of wood that you use on your watches?
Yeah, so we recently, one of the other successful categories we've developed was reclaimed military ammo crates and surplus. Old bomber jackets from World War II, military ammo crates from World War II. Things we actually found an old World War II, 1940, I think it's 1945, fighter jet. It was the air
Wow.
intake off of one, and we bought it from this guy collector in LA who didn't want it anymore, and we turned it into watches, then the dial of the watch, and so we've just done a bunch of things. One of my favorite things we've done this year, aside from the Taylor guitar collaboration, was we made watches with recycled ocean plastic, and so partner with an organization to source and secure that material, and then the strap is made entirely out of ocean plastic, the dial, and so we're able to give back in that way as well.
And what about the stainless steel on the watches as well too? Is that from anything recycled, authentic, or anything like that, like the stainless steel, or the precision on the dials, like the hour hand, the second hand, and also like the sweeping second and the other timepiece?
Right.
Like I also noticed, like on some of the fancier watches, you have like the smaller clocks, and you also have the gears that just wind. Are any of those like sustainable, recycled, authentic, or anything like that?
The dials on some of our watches are made from either recycled aluminum or, like I said, on the military line, from the air intake off of that fighter jet. The other watches are not. The steel, the raw stainless steel is recycled, not from anything specific, but it's recycled. And then, yeah, I mean, we find any way possible to make as much of the product as sustainable as we can. So that's the goal.
That's very amazing too. And not just watches you have, you also have the Brewmaster. You also got sunglasses and other kinds of cool gifts. We're on the Original Grain website as well too. All kinds of jewelry, you got rings and everything. And tell us about those and what they're made of, and what do you plan on featuring in the future as well?
Yeah, so we've recently expanded into other product categories like the wedding bands, and the rings, as well as sunglasses, which have been a successful launch for both of those. And again, same thing, just trying to be as unique as we can in both of those categories and tell really cool stories with the materials. Most of the materials in those products are similar, either whiskey or beer barrels or tequila barrels, or really cool exotic hardwoods like mahogany or burlwood. Burlwood's a fantastic wood. It's a very, very cool exotic hardwood that we've used for years now. But yeah, I mean, we're looking to expand as much as we can and start collaborating with, I can't say who, but we're looking at some automotive partners for next year, finding ways to incorporate material with them, and just, figuring out. The thing is, it's really fun to sit around and just brainstorm, what are other cool materials we could use in our watches.
I like that idea, having a watch of reclaimed materials, like from stadium seats, bourbon barrels, and everything. And do you also take special requests for watches and other jewelry?
We at this point we do not, but it's something we've looked a lot at, and I'd like to do in the future, because how cool would that be to send in a piece of whatever, it could be something that means something to you, and that's all that matters. And once we could actually turn that into something you as a little keepsake for the rest of your life.
That is so interesting. I love the idea of watches. I'm ready to pull up my credit card. I'm going to enter the information right now. If Amazon lets me, they've been down for about a few days, and maybe they're busy during the season. And where can we find all the information about Original Grain watches and how they order?
Yeah, you can just head to our website, originalgrain.com. We're on Instagram and all the social media platforms. And yeah, we're ready and shipping for the holidays. And yeah.
That sounds great. And not just the holidays, but beyond as well too. And what else is coming up for Ryan Beltran and the Original Grain Watch Company and more? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for any needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Zia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the co-CEO, founder of Original Grain Watches, Ryan Beltran, after this time out. We're back with the co-CEO and founder of Original Grain Watches, Ryan Beltran, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Ryan, you just really had a really good product out there, and I'm sure people are going to be buying like crazy. And what can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be looking to expand into, again, other new product categories. Like I said, our most recent product was our wedding bands for men, and finding new ways to incorporate unique materials like that. Again, we're looking to do some really fun collaborations in the back half of the year with either an automotive company or a wine company is actually the one that we're looking at pretty strongly.
Ooh,
So
that sounds nice.
yeah,
I'm certainly looking forward to it. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
oh gosh, that's a good question. I gotta say it's probably my parents. Growing up, I was not going to be an entrepreneur because they were entrepreneurs, and I saw
Huh.
how hard it was. and I and I go, I don't know if I want to have my own business. And
Mm.
it's funny as once I graduated from college, I decided that actually, you know what, I do want to be an entrepreneur. And so I got to say they inspired me a lot through the years. I don't think I knew it at the time, but um, here we are full circle, and I got to say it's probably them.
And you're certainly doing a really good job as well, along with your brother Adrian, who's now able to join us. But we'd love to have you guys back. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
Biggest advice I always give is to start today. Do not wait. That's the key to life. And at the end of the day, if you don't start today, you'll never actually do it. So I even say just the simplest thing, right? Just getting that website URL, or just getting on the phone with if you're going to do a product, to finding a supplier. I mean, you just got to start now.
And that's very fantastic advice out there. Once again, the co-CEO and founder of Original Grain Watches, Ryan Beltran, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Ryan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. I'd love to see more of your products. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your watches and everything else?
Yeah, one last time, you can check us out at originalgrain.com or on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. And anytime, just shoot us a note on we're actually responding into most of our DMs. So we'd love to hear from you guys.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Ryan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. And we definitely looking forward to have you back, and wish you all the best. And you've got a great future ahead of you.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.